Hello and welcome to another DeNami Design YouTube video. Today we're going to be creating a Mother's Day card from start to finish. Here's the card that we're going to be creating. As you can see here, the sentiment that we are using is the current product spotlight for this week, and it's also 10% off. So here's just another idea on how you can use it, and also an idea of what you can do for your Mother's Day card this year. So let's get started on the card. For our card base, we're using a piece of magenta cardstock, and we're just going to keep it the A2 size and fold it in half. Then we're going to set that aside, and for our main panel, we're going to be using a piece of celery cardstock, which measures 3 5/8 by 4 7/8. And for this one, we're going to be stamping on the bottom half of the piece of cardstock with one of the stamps from the decorative borders. I'm going to be using this one here, and we're going to be stamping it in the Vintage Sepia VersaFine ink. So I'm just going to line up my stamp. We're just going to do it at the bottom half, so and you can space this as close or as far as you like. I'm doing them pretty close together. Okay, so there is that piece, and then for the framing, we're going to be using a piece of aquamarine cardstock. This is our lightweight shimmer paper. You can see it's a little shimmery there. And this one measures 3 3/4 by 5. So we're just going to frame that here. So I'm just going to use my ATG dispenser. Okay, and then we can actually put that right onto our card base right now. Okay, and then we're going to set that aside, and we're going to work on our focal point. So I've just die cut a white piece of cardstock, and you can use any kind of shape that you have. I just chose this one because it was really pretty and it looks good for a focal point. And so we're going to be using the vase that is from the Garden Accessories, which is the CLGD005, and this is another one of our cling stamps. I'm going to just be using the same ink here. This whole card uses just the Vintage Sepia ink. So I'm going to stamp it off to the side a little bit, and then we're going to do another one right next to it. I'm doing it a little bit lower just so it adds a little bit of variation, just very slightly. And then for our flowers, I'm going to be using the tulip, which is from the Spring Flowers set. So it's a little tulip. And then I'm using the stem that is from the Garden Flowers. And if you can see here in this set, it comes with 3 of them. And I actually cut mine apart, you can see here. So I've cut it so it's just one single one. Now you have to be really careful that it doesn't get lost, but I really like how I can just manipulate the stems to where I want them to go. So this is what works for me. So I'm just going to be stamping the stems, but I'm going to be masking off my vase first, just so I don't get it on the vase. And I'm just going to do the same thing to the next vase. Okay, and then now I'm going to be getting my tulip. I'm just going to stamp that. Okay, now for our colors, I'm using my Copic colors. I have the BG11 and BG13. And then I have my RV21 and my RV25. I'm just going to color these in really quickly. Okay, now we're going to go on to the faces. I just love this aqua color. It's so fresh and really looks great with the pink. Okay, so there are the flowers and the vases, and then now I'm going to get my card base and we're going to start putting everything together. So for this I am going to get my piece of ivory grosgrain ribbon. This one is measuring the 5/8 width, and I've cut it down to 11 inches long and then also 9 inches. And for this pretty ribbon detailing, as you can see here, it needs the 2 pieces. So I'm going to get my ATG dispenser, and I'm just going to put a row of tape just right in the middle. And that's the great thing about this tape. You can use it on paper and ribbon, and it works great. So I'm just going to put one end down first, and then I'm going to just lay it on top of my card to see exactly how long I need it to be. So I want it a little bit shorter than the length of the card. So I just need to pull it in just a little bit more. Okay. Okay, so there's one of them, and then I'm going to do the same thing to the shorter piece. Do the one end, and then I'm going to lay it on top of this piece that we've already done, so it's a little bit shorter than that one. Okay. So then now I'm going to lay these ribbons down. So I'm just going to do a row of tape here. I'm just going to lay that down. And then again, I'm going to add some more adhesive to this nether row of ribbon. And then I'm going to lay this down. So now it's starting to come together, and we're going to get our focal point, and we're going to add our foam mounting tape. I'm doing a stack of 2 of this tape, so I'm just going to lay my first layer down, and then I'm going to just go right above what I just did, so it's a double layer. And then we're going to just lay that in the center. Okay, and then now for our sentiment, we're almost done. So I'm just going to get my piece of 5/8 by 5.5 inch white cardstock. I'm just going to cut in to the middle so I get my little fancy edges. Okay, and then if you've seen one of my other videos, I use the Martha Stewart scoring tool. I'm going to do it at the 7/8 and 1 1/4. I'll flip it over and do the exact same thing on the other side. Then we're just going to fold these in. And lay it down, and then we're going to do our Happy Mother's Day sentiment. So I'm going to, oops, okay, here's my clear block, and then I'm going to use my brown ink again. Oops, okay, and then we just need to stamp this. Then we're going to get our foam mounting tape again. I'm going to do it on this end, and then this end, and then just one in the middle. Okay, so there is the card. And then just for our last finishing touch, I'm going to add a little bit of the magenta glitter that we use. And I'm going to get my quickie glue pen here, and I'm just going to do it on the tulips. Going to get my scratch piece of paper just so I can catch the glitter. And we're just going to sprinkle a little bit on. Okay, I'm going to tap off the excess, and there's our sparkly tulips. And just for the last little bit of color, I'm going to add some green to the stems, just so it blends in the celery a little bit more. So I'm using the YG00 and the YG03, and I'm just going to add a little bit of color to the stems. Perfect. And there you have it. There's your really sweet and simple Mother's Day card. It's great just to cheer up your mom, and you can even change out the sentiment if you wanted to do sending you love or thinking of you. We even have a new sentiment that says praying for you. So this would be also a great sympathy card for all sorts of occasions. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.